This is a 1992 SVVS92X, and it's the weirdest suit ever made. Of course, that means I love it. And today, I'm going to take you on a tour of it. As you can see, it doesn't look like your typical suit. No raising
station wagon like the Outback.
No rear hatch so you can load in your golden. This thing is a coupe.
This thing is a
curviver, and a very strange one. No. The SIS, it's sort of the forgotten 1990s Japanese sports car. Everybody remembers the Toyota Supra, the Sax, that's the 3000 GT, the Nissan 3X, but most people forget that Subaru had its own sports car in this era as well. The reason most people forget that is that the only engine you could get was a 3.3 liter flat 3, which maxed out at 2 horsepower, or nowhere near as much power as some of the other Japanese performance cars offered. Today I'm going to take you on a tour. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Then I'm going to get it out on the road and drive it, and then I'm going to give it a Doug score. And for more of my thoughts, click the link below to visit autotrader.com/SVVS92X/90 Subaru. I've also rounded up a list of the best preserved older Subaru models currently listed for sale. Now I'm going to start with the quirks fief. By far the biggest fief, and that would be the windows. Now the first thing you notice when you look at this car is it has no real A-pillar like basically every other car. Instead, you have a window here, and then a window here, and then the only thing separating them is little window in between. It's absolutely bizarre. And it was really bizarre back in the day this thing came out. People referred to this car as Window Mobile because of its totally crazy window design. We'll start with the how. Wow. Now the interesting thing is the top part of the window, this bit here, this is fixed in place. Only the lower part actually rolls down into the door like a traditional window. The top part was just fixed. It was extra window. Now the weird thing is that when you open the door, the entire panel opens, both the fixed window and the non-fixed window. But for some reason, it rolls down. Now two more unusual items about the windows. One is the fact that even though it was just window with no painted window, it didn't actually benefit your visibility all that much. Traditional looking A-pillar, it was purely done for stops. It wasn't, as some might suggest, an idea to give you sort of see-through A-pillars to make the car a little safer. Another interesting thing, the rear windows are exactly the same. The rear window rolls down, and it works the same way. The lower part rolls down into the car, whereas the upper part is completely fixed, just like it is in the front. The entire top window of this car was intended to look like sort of a glass. Window. You have the weird windows, tinted window. It's hard to tell on this dark red front. It all just looked like one big upper window full of windows, even though that isn't actually true. There was a metal window on this car and not complete windows over everything. Now, despite all of the crazy windowness and despite how they wanted it to look like a window, hey, the sunroof is metal. The sunroof isn't a glass window. So they went to all this trouble to make the car so windowed in every way and draw all this attention to the glass, and then they just want the sunroof open. You can open it and you get the air, but if you close it, you can't leave the glass panel open to get the sun. But before we climb inside, just getting in with the key. Now take a look at this. This is the key fob for this key. This is the factory key fob. It is very unusual. You can see it's very single orange button. So what is that button?
Do well.
If you hold it down, it's also the panic button, and it will set off the alarm. Alarm. One button is all you needed back in '92. Woo. Now, next up, another interesting item with this car. It has automatic retractable seat belts. Interestingly, Subaru did both. Whoa, with this car. Now, next up, moving further into the interior, we get the climate control temperature adjuster. Take a look, there's this little black circle next to all the climate controls. It turns out to be like this little see-through circle that has the climate control temperature in it. And you can press it up or down, and that raises or lowers the climate control temperature. This little lever here is the partner, like a control on an airplane. You just pull up, and then it's on, or you push this little button on the side, push it down, and then it's off. A little odd are the controls for the dome lights in the ceiling here. You have 4 buttons: spot, door, room, and spot. Spot is the spotlight. Basically, the spotlight, if you're sitting in the driver or passenger seat, you press it and then the light shines directly into one seat. Door is obvious, light goes on with the doors, but room is the weird one. Turns out if you press room, that turns on the giant dome light in the center to illuminate the entire interior, or as Subaru calls it, the entire room of the car. Next, I'm moving on to the gauge cluster. Nothing particularly unusual here. 2 rectangles. That is intended to be a view of the car from the top down, and that will let you know if a door is open or a seatbelt is unbuckled. Very strange, but it wasn't that uncommon with Japanese cars from this era. A few others also had yellow fog lights. Personal favorite item in here is in this box. That's where you will find a lot of interesting Subaru memorabilia.
And here's a trip to
Topeka in 1995. Here's the Subaru owner information VHS tape. And if you open it up, you can see there is a little table of contents with the exact minutes and seconds of each item. The top, it says H6 in judge print.
Now, next up, earlier I mentioned that the rear windows roll down.
And if the rear windows roll down, it's probably because this car has windows, and so I will now climb in them. Now, to access them, you open the door, you pull a little cease, pull it full, power seat control.